guys, I just wanted to check in. It's day 32 of my all-in recovery project journey. I didn't vlog last week. I've really been struggling with the weight gain. I have not stopped my all-in recovery journey. I have not intentionally restricted, but I'll get into a little bit how I think that letting the weight gain bother me has kind of caused subliminal restriction, or at least the desire to subliminally restrict. So I think I mentioned the last time I vlogged that it was really starting to get to me, that I was at that phase where if I wasn't willing to let the weight gain continue, that I would have stopped it. And that's when it was first becoming really, really obvious to me that acceptance of weight gain is necessary to begin to recover, okay? It seems like we feel like the decision is the beginning, and it is. I mean, it kind of is the beginning of it all, but there's no point in taking that one step without already reconciling with weight gain. It's like, and I did this 100 times, like I said in the last vlog, you go in because you're at a lower weight, or maybe you're not, but usually you're at a weight that was livable with your dieting, right? And you go in thinking, how bad can it be? And then you get one day, 1 week, 1 month in, and you hit your limit and you didn't realize you had that limit. And that happened to me over and over and over. And this time I was prepared for that. I knew I was going to hit that point that I didn't want to cross, and I decided to embrace it, to move forward with it. And, I kind of hit that on my last vlog. I mean, I think that was like 12 days ago or something. And so, I just pushed through, right? And the following week, last week, when I didn't vlog, was worse, because I decided to push through that ceiling of discomfort. And it's not even like uncomfortable feelings, it's mental discomfort. So I decided to push through that. And then the following week, you got another week of free eating under your belt, and you've gained some more weight and you're feeling it even more. And then you're already past what you would have tolerated before. And it's funny because towards the end of the week, I went shopping. And I bought a box it was like a potato dish, and, on the back of the box, it says you add this and this. And one of the things, it has the picture, and I saw that picture of the 3 tablespoons of oil that it wanted me to add to this mix. And my first thought was, well, I don't have to add the oil. And I caught myself and I'm like, holy cow, I am restricted. Like, even though I was still eating freely, mentally, my brain was busy calculating the things that I was going to do to try to not gain so much weight. And I really had, kind of a come to Jesus moment where I had to realize that I could eat a whole bag of M&Ms, but if I am not putting the oil into the recipe, that is still restricting. And so if I do that, I'm just going to gain and gain and gain and not get rid of the mental restriction that I'm causing, right? So I didn't even make the potatoes, so I didn't do it, but I thought it. And I think that is part of the journey, right? You cannot judge yourself on this journey. You cannot say, I thought that I'm a failure. You can't even say, I did that I'm a failure. You just have to plug forward, right? If I had an entire day where I restricted, which I have not, and I don't intend to, but say I woke up, it's a horrible morning, I had never felt so enormous in my life and I restricted that day. The next day I could wake up and just not restrict anymore. It's not about black and white, right? It's about retraining your mind. And sometimes our little slips are our biggest lessons. And if I had taken, say, the last time I tried to do this, where the day I woke up and said, this is too much, which was, by the way, a lot lower than I am now weight-wise. But if I had then the following day said, ooh, I don't want to go back to that life, and I learned that lesson because I did that, that doesn't make me a failure. It makes me a wise person who learned their lesson. So I see a lot of self-punishment and self-judgment on Facebook and the groups, and I just want to say, this isn't black and white. This isn't pass or fail. This isn't right or wrong. What it is a journey about learning about yourself, about learning how to ditch the diets, get over the eating disorders, and we all are in charge of that for ourselves. No counselor can fix that for you without your ability to adapt and learn as you go through the journey. So, but one thing that has become just crystal clear is if you think you can do this without embracing and accepting weight gain, you're wrong, and you're just going to keep failing because of that. And that's not a judgment. I had to do that many, many times before I realized it, because you will always have the day when you hit that limit and you can't do it anymore. And if you keep diets in your back pocket, you're going to go back to it. Keep restriction in your back pocket, you're going to go back to it. So, then you think, how can I get through those moments? And I feel like I've pushed through 100 of them already, and I'm only a month in here. So the way that I can say that I've gotten through those moments, which can feel like an eternity, which can be total torture, is to say I can't get to where I want to go unless I get through this moment and move forward. And I am to the point where I am damned determined to get to where I want to go, which is free of restriction, free of dieting, free of my life revolving around food. And I know right now it seems like my life revolves around food, but it doesn't revolve around restriction of food and the minutia of balancing calories and macros and counting and weighing. It doesn't include any of that. So I have to do this. Food has to be the center until it's not the center anymore. And I will say, even though emotionally and mentally it has been really difficult to get through the weight gain, I have a couple spare tires that I did not have a month ago. I have, my legs are rubbing together in a way that they didn't a month ago. My legs feel like tree trunks. My arms feel like, huge. And I even have freaking armpit fat, you notice everything because you've been so hyper aware of your body. And I can't say how much I've gained because I have not been on the scale. I knew that would be a huge trigger for me. So I did intentionally have not weighed myself, though the scientific part of me wishes I could monitor it and just plot it all out. Like week 1 gain, week 2 gain, week 3, I wish I could, but I don't have the wherewithal to not only look at my body, but look at the scale at the same time and see all of that going up. So I am not weighing myself, but I completely lost my point there. I know what I was going to say. Again, we've already gone through this. If you are not expecting weight gain, and not even just some open-ended weight gain, I don't see how it's possible to recover. I guess there's a few people in the world that can't gain weight past a certain point, that say they're genetically predisposed to very slim body, and maybe they became anorexic to be emaciated or whatever they wanted to be, and then, you know, they gain weight to a certain point. There are people with metabolisms like that are genetic. But for most of us who have dieted down from a higher weight that would be considered overweight, especially if we've been doing it for a while, we are absolutely going to gain weight past the point of our comfort. There's no decision to make that can make that acceptable. You have to make the decision to accept it, and then you have to accept it each moment of every day as you go. And I do find that if I'm not in a triggering situation, like around people that I don't want to think I'm unattractive, or, you know, in any situation where I would mentally, like if I'm home, for the most part, I'm okay. It's not all the time. You know, sometimes even in my freaking baggy pajamas, I still feel huge. And what I'm working on is identifying those things. Like, I was in the shower and I wasn't looking, it's like I avoid the mirror now. I don't look at myself. And I was realizing that what I was feeling on my body from the inside, you know, those extra fat rolls, how uncomfortable it is that my legs touch together, how much my arms rub against my side because I have fat on my sides and fat on my arms now. That if I did then look in the mirror, even though I didn't like what I saw in the mirror, it was not equal to what I was feeling in my head. So my goal this week is to work on changing those things in my head that monitor what my body's doing, because I think they're skewed. I'm pretty sure they're skewed. And I know some people look in the mirror and they have body dysmorphia. I have mental internal body dysmorphia. And then my eyes are able to see more of the reality of things. And so I am just trying to use all of my senses to really say to myself on a minute-to-minute basis that it's not that terrible. You know, it's not as terrible as you're catastrophizing in your head. So I'm going to attempt that. My goal is to vlog again later in the week, just to kind of keep you updated. I know there's so many things that have been on my mind that I don't have it all organized to put in a vlog today. So thank you so much to those of you who have subscribed, have commented. I would love to hear about people out there who are also on this journey, that are right where I am, that are prior to where I am, that are down the road from me. Please share. I would love to hear your thoughts. So I will sign off for now, and I will be back later. Bye.